So naturally, our mentor wants us to go sneak into the other side's camp to get more intel, because he needs intel on both sides to be a successful arbiter. Because he's blue mana aligned, and it can be a bit of a dick at times if you've ever ran into a cancel counter deck who mostly just stalls their times and gets rid of everything you hold dear. So far, not a bad hand. And of course we get the Sphinx. Having both of the Sphinx enchantments would have been brilliant, but one Sphinx in the hand is worth two in the deck. Glory Seeker! It seems rather fitting that the two sides of the war are, of course, swamp and plains aligned, because they tend to represent the whites, the sun, the light, and black is the darkness and the swamp. Well, the one benefit that the swamp tends to have over the plains is that the swamp can work with just about any corpse, while the plains prefers living soldiers. Hey, Jace made a successful attack for once. Of course, he just replays the same Glory Seeker. And that will likely be the only attack we get off this entire game. Enjoy it now while you can, folks. I briefly thought about attacking there, but with a handful of cards and 2 mana left untapped, I didn't think the risk was worth it. There aren't very many ways with 2 mana to get rid of the entire field, but you'd be surprised. With that spell card in my hand, I briefly thought about attacking, but once again, probably not worth it. And that card right there is why. One thing white decks are really good at, and certain types of black decks, is gaining a ton of life. Though a properly built red or black death deck does not care how much life you have, they will just continue to do more. I know, I've built them. See? Cards like that. We need more of those. More that gets rid of cards. Like, we have 3 that can draw if I pay the mana cost, but I can only pay 1 per. I can't pay 3 and then power all 3, which would be just fantastic. Of course, this time I decide to attack and take advantage of the turn the tide. And that's exactly why it held off before, because the charge gives it just enough to survive, or mutually assured destruction. And it's turns like that that make me think that the AI was holding it, or specifically setting it up to counter me. And it may just be luck, since I don't get to see how the AI works or draws, but there's an alarming number of times that it just so happens to have 1 card in its hand that perfectly counters what I just drew. It's not something I've been holding for a while, I just drew it. Jace's one does it less so than some others. I think his 1 goblin deck in Nissa's run was the worst, but we'll get to that in about 10 episodes or so. And I just go ahead and let them attack, because there's not a ton I can do at this point. I basically overcommitted in that 1 turn, and it cost me about 19 life. But I do have a cancel in hand, which may be handy if it plays something particularly gruesome. Of course, white always has more glory seekers. And elite vanguards. I am disappointed that we're not fighting traveling philosophers, though. Let's see. Do we toss the cancel? The cancel. Tough decision. But we do speed up the milling a bit. And right now there's not enough on the board to murder me outright. Another elite vanguard. I guess they don't draft elk into their army. Yeah, that's the only bad thing about this deck is... and kind of the setup in general, that since you can technically target yourself and you kind of have to turn that on for some abilities when you kind of need to target yourself or destroy one of your own creatures, is that you have to remember to target even though you're... and that is about the perfect time for cancel. Otherwise, I would be dead. In fact, if it had one more point of damage or one more ability it could have played, I would have been dead. Of course, I have to hang on to the land just in case I want to keep whatever I draw. I play the illusion anyway, even though it's mostly unnecessary at this point, because my opponent no longer has a deck, and with 1 life left, my opponent at 30, we win, thus gathering more intelligence from the other side. And draining the memories, you realize that, dun dun dun, you are the informant. Guess we have to confront our master about this. Join us next time when we go after the Sphinx one last time.